wanted a thing called tuna sashimi. 3, 2, 1.
Hello guys, Tune here back again. Well, this week I'm going to review an arcade system that I picked up about a month ago, and I've just about managed to get myself 2 games for it. So this is the IGS, or International Gaming Systems, PGM, or Polygame Masters. I don't know why they called it that, but anyway, this is a PGM arcade board. This system was made by the Taiwanese company IGS. And it was released in 1997, and it was to compete with the NeoGeo, basically, because that was obviously must have been doing quite well in Taiwan. This system is quite similar to the NeoGeo, really. The form factor, the cartridges, the whole lot are very, very similar. As you can see, it's jammer standard, but it does use 4 buttons. You do have to wire up the 4th button on the jammer loom, which is there, but not many people tend to wire it up. On the side here, you got your dip switch settings, and I think that connector is for a card reader, because in Taiwan you could get cards for some of the characters in the games, and you could record your progress through the games. On this side is pretty much your volume rocker, so a pretty simple system. This system does have a battery, which I don't know whether you can see it. You probably can't. It's underneath there on the right hand side. It does have a battery like the NeoGeo boards, and is well known for the battery leaking, the same as the NeoGeo ones do, so you do need to change it. This one has been nicely converted to use a standard CM3232, I think it is. It's a standard watch battery, basically. Inside there is the cartridge slot, and you can see there's 4 cartridge slots in one on the side with them. I say this system, when it came out, they released a game called Oriental Legend, which I wouldn't mind picking up actually. It doesn't look fantastic, but it does look a really cool game. It's a scroll-along beat 'em up. This machine does have a hell of a lot of scroll-along beat 'em ups on it. There's not a huge amount of games that came out for it, but a lot of them were scrolling fighters. There were some really nice scrolling fighters as well, actually. A lot of the games are actually in MAME, but MAME doesn't emulate them perfect. They do have a few issues in MAME. If I move the board out of the way a second, guys, because I ain't got much room when I'm recording. The cartridges are these. As you can see, this one is Knights of Valor Plus version. You can see the cartridge slot there, so that's what the cartridges look like. Compare that to a standard Mega Drive cartridge or a SNES cartridge. So you can see they're fairly big cartridges. They are pretty much the same size as a NeoGeo cartridge. And now that's pretty much a NeoGeo cartridge. So they're pretty similar, they're pretty much the same height. The NeoGeo cartridge is a little bit taller, but they very similar. Very similar. In NeoGeo's got your your double circuit boards and stuff going through it. So you can see that they did take a lot of ideas off the NeoGeo, especially with the cartridges and everything. 1 second, as I'll show you now as well. I say that's the my NeoGeo board. NeoGeo boards come in various sizes and sort of shapes and sizes, and I don't know whether I can fit both of them, which I can't. And that's the IGS board. So as you can see, they're quite similar size to that version of the NeoGeo board that I own. Like I said, they were cartridge based, so they released. I'm not sure exactly how many games are on the machine, but I'll run through them because there's not a huge amount. There was the Dragon World games. I think they made 3 of them. They were like a puzzle game / sort of Shanghai type game. You had the Oriental Legend, which is a scrolling fighter. You had Killing Blade, which is a fighting game, which is very cheap to buy because it doesn't look particularly very good. And what they tended to do, they did a lot of like special versions and plus versions of some of the games with extra characters and stuff like that. So there's an Oriental Legend special version. They did all the Knights of Valor games up to Knights of Valor 2, including all the specials and updates and stuff. There was a Photo Y2K, which I think is like like you move the pictures around to make the puzzle game, where you move the puzzle pieces around to make a picture. it's pretty much that. Puzzle style, I don't know what that is. Puzzly 2, I don't know what that is either. There were a couple of cave games actually out of interest. Cave licensed Dodon Apache, and IGS made Dodon Apache 2 B-Storm for this machine. It's not quite as nice as a Cave version, which is a little bit odd. The Cave licensed the game for them to make it, which I don't know what the deal was there. But it's a pretty nice vertical shooter. It's not amazing, but one day maybe I'll get hold of that for it. It does look quite nice. And also a couple of the Cave games actually use PGM hardware in the Cave boards. So someone has worked out how to hack some PGM cartridges to free of the Cave games. So a couple of the Cave games were released. And the ones that were released were Dodon Apache Dodgie. And these are all pretty much perfect, exactly like the Cave versions. Dodgie Black Label, Escaluda, and Ketsui were released. These can be found. They're usually about 200 odd quid each, something like that. But I wouldn't mind Escaluda because I do love that game. And they are perfect to the arcade as well, and cheaper than the Cave arcade boards. What else for games come out? There was a beat 'em up called Martial Masters, which is really nice looking. That's quite pretty, that is. Well worth trying that in MAME. There was a game called Demon Front, which is probably one of the best games on the machine. It's very much like Metal Slug. I'll show you that later because I've managed to pick myself up a copy of that. There was a game called The Gladiator, or Road to Sword, which is a really nice scrolling fighter. Happy 6-in-1, I think they were just like puzzle game type things. Shiny 123, no idea. And they were Spectral Vs Generation, which is a fighting game. They came out on the PS2 actually. That's quite nice, that is, but does tend to be quite expensive. I say what they did as well, they went on later on, they developed 2 more systems. They developed the PGM2, which is a more powerful version. I'm not sure the exact specs on that, the PGM3. Let's have a look at the PGM2 system. PGM2 system definitely had a better sound chip, it had a better processing chip. And PGM3 used a dual-core Intel Atom chip. 2 gig of RAM, SD card, and they only released 1 game on it. So PGM2, there's only, let's have a look, 2, 4, 6. There's only 7 games. There's Oriental Legend 2, Knights of Valor 2, King of Fighters 98 Ultimate Match, which is very cool. Dodon Apache Dodgie Tamashi, which was, I think that was like a one-off they only did for the PGM boards. Very collectible. One sold on eBay with a PGM2 board the other day for 390 quid. Which didn't surprise me for that. There was a Jigsaw World Arena, which is random. Puzzle Daroka, no idea what that is. And Knights of Valor 3. And on the PGM 3 system, which is quite expensive to buy, there was 1 game. It was Knights of Valor 3 HD, which I think that was like a 3D version. And they only made 1 game for it. So I say, and that came out in 2012, that did. So that was the last PGM game they actually made. Like I said, I'll move this out the way a minute. The games are all on cartridges. Say, I managed to get myself Demon Front. They say this is quite a sought after game on the machine. It's getting a bit hard to get hold of these days. And I got myself Knights of Valor Plus. So what I can say about this machine, it seems really cool. It's got some pretty nice graphics. A lot of the games, if you look on MAME, a lot of the games have really nice animation to them and really nice quality graphics. In some ways, they've done, some of the graphics look better than the NeoGeo. Sound-wise so far, some of the games have got the music's not great on them. I don't think the developers were quite as good as SNK. And at the other developers, they worked on SNK who did some of the games. But like I said, it's a pretty nice system. I've been wanting to get myself one for quite a while. One thing I would say as well, the cartridges only go in one way. There's a little bit of a sort of slot on the side, and if you look on the side of the cartridges, they will only fit in that way. Unlike NeoGeo, where you can actually put them in both ways and damage them, which is a bit of a bummer. On the NeoGeo, I don't know if you can see it, but there, let me put it this way. It's a bit hard to see. There's a little arrow on the bottom, and that you need to line that up with the arrow on the actual board and then slot the cartridge in. But on the NeoGeos it will allow you to put the cartridge both ways round, so it was quite cool on these. They actually thought about that and put this cage on you with the slots cut out, so it's pretty much you can't put the cartridges in the other way. So I say that's the actual PGM hardware. So what we'll do is now we'll cut from here and I'll go to some gameplay. So I'll plug my super gun in and we'll have a go in Knights of Valor. So be back in a minute. Right guys, we're back. This is Knights of Valor Plus. Before we play the game, I will show you the test menu on this machine. If you click on the test menu, in here you can test the hardware. So if you click in here, you can do your I/O test, which is your joystick and test. You can test your sound, your RGB, your screen tests, RAM test, just to make sure the board is all working. This is your dip switches. Tells you what's on. If you go back here and there's your operator settings, this is where you can change difficulty, red blood, you know, how many coins you're using, that sort of stuff. This is the bookkeeping they keep, so you can basically say Sango, because that's the Taiwanese name is Sango something Goku, I think, something like that. It tells you when you sort of plays you've had, how much money you're making, and that's just pretty much what the operator stuff would do. That's pretty much your clock and your date, and that's your system reset. So we'll go with that and back into the game. I say this is version 119 plus version, so compared to the original game, this has the 3 unlockable characters plus 2 extra characters. So there's 10 playable characters altogether to pick on this one, which is quite cool. So we'll chuck a couple of credits in this. I say there's your 10 characters. I'll pick the standard character for now. I say they're all a little bit different. The 3 at the bottom in the middle are the 3 unlockables, and then you've got 2 special versions of the other characters. I say with the PGM, the one thing I am quite impressed with, the video output on this PGM board is very, very nice. It's very clean and very, like I say, hopefully it's going to show in the video after it's been encoded and everything, but the video quality on this machine is very, very nice indeed. So you can see nice big chunky graphics, and it's got nice animation as well, and there's lots of moves and stuff these games got as well. I'm not quite sure how to do it all. There's big specials, you can do a run attack. Oops. So you will hear me tapping because I'm on the super gun. I say with lots of different characters to choose from and lots of different specials. I'm not quite sure you do the specials. I know if you keep attacking, you got a little bar at the top with the dots on. That actually gets powered up, and you can press the 3 buttons together, and you basically go into like a special mode. But you can do specials here, but I'm not quite sure how to do it. Plus you can also level up on this game. You can also basically choose you can choose weapons, you can chuck weapons. You get lots of like armor, weapons, special moves. That's probably what I'm missing. You can do like a block attack as well, like a counter attack. Must be some characters can do a counter attack then. Like I say, I haven't played this a huge amount at the moment. You can pick up items as you go along. There's more things you can throw at the enemies as well. This guy seems quite good. I say this game's got some really nice chunky graphics. Really big bosses as well. In it, I've changed it to basically 2-player, but oh, sorry, it actually starts on 4-player. This game actually is a 4-player arcade game, so it's probably pretty mental when there's 4 players and all this stuff going on and specials and that. Like I say, the machine seems really quite nice, powerful machine as well. I say there is a version of Knights of Valor for the PS4 if you've got it. It's a free-to-play game as well. It's Knights of Valor 4. It's really nice actually. I really like Knights of Valor 4. It is one of those games, because it's free to play, they want you to spend money, but I haven't spent a penny on it so far, and I've nearly completed it. I've unlocked loads of weapons and armour. It's just a point of playing it, you know. That's definitely well worth picking up, especially the fact it's free. Get my ass kicked here. I haven't been using this character. I've been using a smaller guy with a sword. I don't know what weapon I got. I've still got the throwing knives. So I'll run along here. Chuck throwing knives at them. You can get all sorts of weapons as well. You can get like pots that sort of chuck at them and it burns. You can get armour upgrades. You can get... you do actually go up levels on this game as well. I can get armour upgrades. Right, I've got one of those special moves now. But like I said, I'm not entirely sure how you do the big specials. I need to get online really and figure out if there's any sort of like guide to sort of some of the moves. I wouldn't mind picking up Knights of Valor 2 as well. And the one I really want to get is Road to Sword. I say I've played that on MAME. It's a really nice game. I say this game you get multiple ways to go. If I hit that little thing in the middle, then it'll go to a different direction. You can hit the woman as well. I think the idea is to save her mind other than sort of punch her in the head with the end of your sword blade. It's quite powerful, this character. You can do a jumping attack as well. I say these characters are on the PS4 one as well. I think that's the first boss coming up. I'm going to pick that up. I'm going to go across to there. I'm going to use that because it gives me invincibility for a little while. You can also, once you've downed a character, you can run up to him and you can basically hit them while they're down if you're fast enough. So I'll do the special, which I'm in that mode now. I'm not sure whether you do, like I say, I haven't played a huge amount, so I'm not sure how much extra damage you're doing in this mode. That's it, hit it while she's on the floor. Ah, come on. I say I won't play this for too long. I say I will review this game eventually once I get good at it, and I say at the moment I'm not particularly very good at it. So anyway, that's Knights of Valor. Pretty nice. Actually, I might just get to the second level just for the hell of it. Knights of Valor. It's a pretty nice scrolling fighter that does have a lot to it, which I don't know a huge amount. You can do a weird attack like that, like a double ping attack. You may see slight glitches going on here. I think I've got a bit of a loose connection somewhere on this board. Oh. It's been a bit of a nightmare. As you can see, I'm not particularly very good at this game. I need to learn the sort of nuances of this game to get better at it. Damn, she got me. Damn, you don't attack it like that anyway, put it that way. Ugh. Get my ass kicked. She's dead. About 3 credits later. So yeah, the bosses do drop a lot of I say it's a pretty nice scrolling fighter this is. Like I say, really nice animation. I say another extra with this version as well, you do get these little cutscenes in between, but we're gonna skip them. Ooh. Yeah, definitely got a bit of a loose connection on this board. But anyway, that's Knights of Valor. And so what we'll do now, we'll swap over and we'll swap to Demon Front, which is a very nice game. So I'll be back in a minute, guys. Right guys, this is Demon Front. This is a Metal Slug type game. This is obviously to compete with Metal Slug. This game's got some really nice graphics, it plays really well. Got some subtle differences compared to Metal Slug, but we'll put some coins in. You get 4 characters to choose from. Each character's got a little creature, as you can see at the bottom, to help them out. Each creature does different firing, and they got different sort of I know you can basically power these creatures up as well. I think they go to level 9. So we'll use this guy. Basics are simple. Basically, A button's fire. If you hold down fire, you charge your little creature up and they release whatever firing they are. He's got like a freeway firing. The one guy's got like a flame, the girl's got like a homing balls, and the other guy has got like an electric ball. When you punch enemies, get close to them, you punch them, you get hearts, you keep collecting the hearts, and your sort of little enemies get, your little sort of helper guy gets more powerful, and their firing gets bigger and better. There's 3 levels to choose from at the start, and there's 2 other levels, but I think there's 6 altogether on this game, I'm not entirely sure. So we'll start on this one. Your little helper can be turned into a shield. Only problem with the shield is it will block most firing, but when you get hit, he loses energy, and if he loses all his energy, your little helper guy will disappear basically, and you won't be able to use him until the next level, which can be a bit awkward and cause you a lot of problems. Like I said, if you get close to enemies, you can punch them, which is very nice, which is very handy. You can pick up weapons like in Metal Slug. This gives me like a rapid fire. Oop, that was pretty stupid. This gives me a rapid fire. There is an ice weapon, there's an electric weapon, and there is like a big shotgun type weapon. If I punch this as well, it gives me lots of secrets. There is a lot of secrets in this game as well, like in Metal Slug. There's secret coins and stuff everywhere, and there is actually secret levels. I've only managed to find the 1 secret level so far. That's on the first level you choose. So there must be more somewhere. Say this level reminds me of Willow. Say this game is very pretty. It's got very nice graphics, really nice animation. It's cool that they took Metal Slug and made it into sort of like a demon type game, in like a demon world. I say this game is quite sought after as well, because everyone who owns a PGM pretty much wants Demon Front. It's probably one of the best machines, best games on the machine. Don't know whether it is the best game, but it's one of the best games on the machine. Quite a nice alternative to Metal Slug, really, to be honest. It does have some very nice background graphics as well. The characters are well animated. Music is not the best, mind. That's the same with the 2 PGM game boards I've got so far. The music is not amazing, you know, but it does the job. Most of the time you're going to be hitting the fire button anyway. You can jump across there. When you jump in this game as well, you've got your normal sort of standard jump, but if you hold down the button, they jump and float for a while. So what you want to do in this game as well, you want to try and punch as many enemies as possible. So you can float like this for a while, which is quite good. This level you can rush it quite a bit as well. The floor disappears from under you. Say now you can rush it and get killed straight away. So you can't rush it completely then. But you can get really close to most enemies and punch them to death, which is useful. and you definitely get the hearts. Like I'm on level 2 now on my little helper. You do sometimes get a shotgun on this level as well, and the shotgun is really good. There it is. I keep forgetting you can't jump and hold the button after you've jumped. You have to basically hold it while you're jumping. Keep making that mistake. Like I said, I've only had this game probably for about 4 or 5 days, something like that, so I haven't really had a chance to give it a good go yet and get really good at it, but I do plan to try and run one credit this game because it is quite cool. I'd say it is pretty much Metal Slug but with demons. Punch these demons as much as possible. Got some really nice artwork in this game. Very nice. The boss on this level is quite tricky. Ah, another secret but there, look. Definitely worth finding all these places where you can punch the backgrounds, because it will power your little affiliates up quite a bit. Ah, the fan. Like I say, I haven't really played this level much. It's a little bit tricky. I know there's something in the door over there, which I can't get. Save that little monster creature thing over there. This bit's a bit tricky. I don't know if there's a place you can stay to sort of dodge all this yet. It's not over there. Oh, that's cool. I don't know if there's any secrets around here. Nope. Here's the boss. So I'm not really sure the tactics of killing this boss yet. He doesn't stay up the top very often, so... You can't use the shield to dodge that. Let's put one more credit in. Like I said, I've been practicing the first choosable level at the moment. I haven't actually been practicing this level much. I keep forgetting to use the shield. Dodge that. I'm not entirely sure the best tactics on here. Oh, that brown weapon might be worth getting. I'm not sure what the brown weapon is. Ah, grenades. Forgot about the grenades, yeah. So you can get an ice weapon, you can get a grenade weapon, you can get a shotgun, you can get the fast auto firing weapon, and I think that's about it basically. Ooh. But the grenades are really good. I'm stuck and I couldn't jump across. So this boss takes quite a fair bashing to kill him. At the end of each level you get a little creature, and if you shoot this stuff, you get lots of bonuses and stuff off it as well. Which is quite nice. Me and my crappy gameplay, but nice little sort of winning animation, which is quite cool. So I can basically choose one or two of the other levels. I'll go for the forest level. I'll show you a little bit of this level. And then... ooh, little like zombie creature things. Say this is the electric weapon. The electric weapon is really good. Ooh. Little weird jumping zombies. So I'm still looking around to see if there's any secrets I can see. I haven't actually done this level yet, so this is pretty new. I think a couple of years ago I basically fed it through MAME just to have a look at it all. That was a long time ago. Good thing with these big guys, you want to get in close to them to get the hearts off them. That's quite a good tactic, getting behind them things. Right, here we go. Doing right so far. Any secrets around here? Good thing is get behind them things and they can't punch you then. So the other good thing is that the enemies don't actually hurt you when you run into them, which would make this game very difficult if that was the case, but ooh. A little frog suit, guys. Ah, he dives that killed me. So yeah, that's a really nice looking level, some really nice graphics. I say the PGM hardware seems really good hardware to me, seems pretty excellent, seems a little bit of a step up in some ways on the NeoGeo. I'm very impressed with the video output on this. The video output's really crisp and clean. But yeah, so it does have some interesting games on this, and as this never came out here and it was pretty much Taiwan only and China, a lot of these games I've never ever seen any of these games in the arcade here, or I'd never seen them in Japan when I was there either. So they're quite interesting in the fact that a lot of these games were never ever released here. And as far as I know, only, like I said, Spectral Vs Generation's got a console release on the PS2. That's a beat 'em up, that's quite nice. And some of the Knights of Valor, the later Knights of Valor games got released, like I say, the one on the PS4. And I'm sure there was a PC, there was a Chinese PC version, I think, if I'm correctly. I've never seen it, mine, but they're quite nice. I say this game does have a lot of scrolling fighters, so if you're into that sort of thing, scrolling fighters, this is a pretty good board to own. A lot of them are not too expensive. Demon Front is quite pricey. They say it did cost me just over 100 quid with postage for this, but I had to get an arcade operator to try and find me a copy because it's getting really hard to find and everyone really wants this game, so there you go. But yeah, the hardware is very, very good indeed, and as arcade hardware, comparing it to the NeoGeo, it's very nice. So I won't give a score out of 10, I just say that it's very nice hardware indeed, and I'm definitely interested to play a lot of the games on you. So I hope you like the video, guys, and if you like the look of this PGM system, try it out in MAME. I think pretty much all the games are on MAME. They're not emulated perfect, but they're emulated good enough. And they're fun to play, so check them out at MAME, or if you're into super guns and stuff, pick yourself up a board, because at the moment the PGM boards are going for ridiculously cheap. I think I paid it was 40 quid delivered for this, for the PGM board, which is stupid. I don't know why all of a sudden they've just dropped down to silly prices, but there you go, can't complain. I picked up the board. So yeah, really good hardware, guys, and I'll catch you soon with another review. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Bye now.